Hey Gems, it's Heather here with Earth Empress. Hopefully you guys are doing well. This is going to be your mid-month read for April 2019. Please keep in mind that it is general, so it will not resonate for absolutely everyone. If it doesn't seem to fit, please don't try to force it. Feel free to click on one of the links below because there are a ton of amazing YouTube readers out there, guys. And keep in mind that the roles can kind of be reversed. It can be vice versa, especially if you're a cross-watcher. So, as always, be discerning, trust your intuition, trust your gut, as they say, and take what fits, take it as it resonates. Okay, so this is going to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter in Gemini. Alright guys, so, sorry, at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords, only because I've seen her 4 times in my shuffling. I pre-shuffled and then I shuffled on screen, So some of you could very well be standing in your divine power right now, your Queen of Swords energy. And that's beautiful for gems. Okay, so we have the Six of Cups here, which is a card of very spiritual connections with someone. It's the kind of connection that makes you feel like a kid again. You get the butterflies, you get the happiness, the flirtation, the joy that you feel as if you were a child again. And it's about reconnections also. The Six of Cups is a very deeply, I don't like to use the word karmic because a lot of people interpret that as a negative, but for me, karmic is not always negative. Soulmates, twin flames, soul tribes, there's karma between us all. If you have these connections with people, there's karma there to be had. It doesn't necessarily negate that it's bad karma. It's just karma from past lives that work through. So maybe some of you are looking back on a connection with someone that you've had that was a deep, intense connection, and you're trying to maybe find balance or heal yourselves, either in this connection with this person or looking back on it. So you have the Knight of Cups here. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. The Knight of Cups is all about that offer of love. It's someone coming forward because they realize that they want to give their love. They want to give love to someone or something. It can also be about self-fulfilling love, giving that love to yourself as well if this isn't a particularly romantic connection for you. You have the Queen of Wands here too. So some of you could have fire in your chart very well, or you can be connecting with someone that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, maybe in their chart. The Queen of Wands is a very discerning, charismatic woman. She's a very compassionate, but I think of the word regal when I think of the Queen of Wands. She's very in her place. She's very discerning. She has things come to her. She attracts them with her charisma, with her charm, with her energy, her fire. And then you have the Eight of Wands here. So this is spiritual messages coming through. This is movement. Whatever this card touches, it magnifies as far as speed goes. The Eight of Wands is such a fast-paced, spiritually charged card. So maybe this reconnection with someone, bringing forth some love, it could very well have you in the Queen of Wands energy where you were ready to kind of charge in, take charge, be discerning, but head towards something that is passionate for you. Or it could be that this connection coming back has inspired someone to take charge and move forward towards you. Take it as it resonates, guys. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Star card. I feel like this happened for Aries also, so some of you could be connecting with an Aries, I have to say it. But the Star card, it's all about hope and healing. Like I just said, some of you could very well be on a mission of healing, either through this connection or looking back on this connection. Maybe it's healing you. What else can we get for gems? It's a card of hope, though. It's like looking back, you realize that there's hope still ahead. And maybe some of you are just deciding to finally head out towards something. Okay. So the first card out was the Six of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. But the Six of Pentacles is reversed. So you have 3 sixes, so that's important for someone. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 12, 18, 1 and 9 is not, 1 and 8 is 9. So some of you could very well be coming towards a completion, which I kind of get with the Six of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. I feel like someone at some point left this connection or is thinking about leaving. Take it as it resonates. It could be past, it could be current. This is just the way the energy is flowing because it is mid-April. Because there was an imbalance. They're heading out towards something because there was an imbalance, or they left something because they weren't balanced in the situation. There was no mutual give and take, which is crazy because the Six of Cups is right there also, and that is mutual give and take. That is that mutual, that love, that fulfillment within each other. So maybe at one point there was either a turning of the wheel, so to say, a turning of the tables. Because at one point, the connection that was mutual giving, full of love, full of fire, full of movement, it's like it's either become stagnant, or this is a past connection with someone that you left before, where there literally there was no balance in the connection, and that's why you left, or they left. So you have the Emperor. So you very well could be connecting with an Aries, like I said. This is the divine masculine, though. Also, keep that in mind. The Emperor is the divine masculine. It's my CEO card. It's my, my leadership, my take control, my take charge and control of themselves. When out of balance, tries to control every aspect of any situation they find themselves in. So maybe there was no balance with an Emperor here, or divine masculine you connected with. Maybe, you left because there was no balance. Maybe they weren't balanced in themselves, or you weren't balanced in yourself yet, and it caused a disconnect. You have the Five of Pentacles, but it's reversed. So I feel like someone at this point, like in this relationship, at some point, they were kind of left out in the cold. Whether it's you or the Emperor, maybe you leaving had this Emperor energy feeling kind of left out in the cold. Which, I feel like, if there's an imbalance, I mean, it's something that needed to happen. It was something that there was no... you can't really fix an imbalance until you go in and heal yourself and someone heals themselves. You have to recognize that there is one, and maybe with this Emperor energy, if they were in their negative state of mind, they weren't realizing there was an issue. They just were trying to control everything. It could have been you, it could have been the situation, it could have been how things were going in a relationship, where they were headed. Maybe they were too controlled in themselves and they weren't open and they weren't giving. So it caused you to leave because of this imbalance. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. So someone's trying to come in with an offer. It is a substantial offer. The Pentacles are always about things that are of substance. But the Pentacles do tend to take a little bit longer, if that makes any sense. Especially when the Knight's connected. The Page and the Knight of Pentacles tend to take a little bit longer. Just because when an earth sign makes a decision, and I know as a Taurus, when we make a decision, it's not made lightheartedly. We will sit and ponder on it, much like air signs to some extent too. I have a Libra moon, I have a Gemini Venus, and a Gemini Mercury. And so for me, I always like to think through every decision I make. But sometimes they are more fun and lighthearted when I'm in my Gemini zone, versus, the Taurus in me is like, okay, I'm going to make a decision. This is long haul. This is strong. This is sturdy. This is secure. So someone coming in, it's either you or them contemplating movement forward towards an offer, making one of substance, of something that's, based in reality, something that's very long term, long haul. You have the Hermit card reversed. So again, someone could be coming out of a period of, maybe they're on a spiritual journey, a spiritual mission. They were the lone wolf, so to say. They went out and had to figure themselves out, figure out their purpose, what they wanted, where they were headed, who they were headed with. Maybe it was you. Maybe you left because there was an imbalance and you went out on your own and you had to discover for yourself what you truly wanted and where you wanted to be and who you wanted to bring with you. And in order to do that and find your power, you had to do it on your own, or vice versa. Maybe they had to do it on their own. What else can we get for gems, Aries? So Seven of Swords reversed. So there could have been some deception here at some point, whether it was self-imposed. Bottom of the deck, the Five of Swords. This is my battle-worn soldier. I have two. My Nine of Wands is, and then this Five of Swords, it's like someone that in the period of the war is just taking a moment to sit and just think about what's happened and if it's really been worth it. That Seven of Swords, maybe you guys were wearing false masks. Maybe someone was wearing a false mask and that's what needed to be healed. Maybe there was some deception or not, someone not getting the full truth of a situation, in this connection, and it caused them to head out on their own. You have the Nine of Cups here, which is wish fulfillment. So someone's coming out of a period, I feel like it's self-imposed deception, because with that Nine of Cups is that wish fulfillment for you card. So with that being right next to it, it's like, okay, you're coming, you or them, again, take it as it resonates, coming out of a period of deception, deceiving yourself about what you really wanted, where you wanted to be, who you wanted, who you were. And it's leading towards your wish fulfillment, your ultimate happiness, because you're recognizing that. And then we have the Tower moment. And Tower is the card of Scorpio. And this energy, a lot of people are terrified of the Tower, just like they're terrified of the Death card. And for me, the Tower is all about shaking up the foundation, the grounding that you've been on, because it needed to be repaired. And you can decorate the walls and paint the walls and fix the house as pretty as you want to, but if there's a crack in the foundation, eventually the house is going to fall apart. So going within and fixing that foundation in order to build anew something beautiful was necessary. And what it was necessary for was this Lover's card. I feel like this can be the connection with them, because you do have Six of Cups here. That can indicate, like I said, a past life soul connection. Knight of Cups here, Knight of Pentacles here, offers being made. You have the Nine of Cups as well, which is the wish fulfillment, something you've wanted. And then the Lovers is also your card. So if this isn't particularly romantic for you, this is all about you finding balance in yourself, pulling yourself out of negative thinking, coming from a period where you finally find your truth, you're headed towards your wish fulfillment, maybe the Tower moment's what led to the wish fulfillment, and then you standing in your power. Are you making a decision? The Lovers is decisions, it's Gemini, and it is a deep soul connection. Like the Emperor here, it is one of my indicators of twin flames. Again, past life connections, things like that, because, you have the Divine Masculine there, and then you have the Lovers, like, come on. And wish fulfillment and the Six of Cups. This connection has been very soulful, very deep. And it's caused, I feel like it's caused growth. A lot of growth. So whether you guys make a choice to go forward in this connection or not, I'm not seeing anything particularly malicious here. Maybe just some imbalance going on. Maybe maybe you had to get back into your power before this connection would work. Because when you're not in your power, a lot of the times we tend to go to a place of attachment or codependency. And in strong spiritual relationships like this, it causes an imbalance real quick, because you have one person that's completely in their power and one person that's not. It tends to bring it to the middle and uneven the scales a lot. And that's a quick in these kind of connections. If it's a surface level connection, if it's, nice, friendly, fleeing, whatever, you don't have that kind of, issues, because it's just imbalanced as is and you don't feel the difference, but you feel a shift in this kind of connection that's that spiritual, that deep. Sorry guys, I'm from Texas, so if you can't tell already, it's what that is. Yeah, I do. I feel like there was a heavy imbalance, whether you or them, and someone needed to get into alignment in order for this connection to come through fruition. And because it was a wish fulfillment, I feel like for both you guys. I feel like you both saw potential. You both wanted this. You both went into it wholeheartedly in the beginning, fiery, moving forward, love coming in, reconnecting. And then it just hit that point of imbalance, and someone needed to recognize, I want to say their worth. Someone needed to recognize their worth. Recognize that they were worthy of love, of this kind of love. So let me get just one or two more cards. I just want to see how this pans out. Yeah, what did I just say? Okay. And I was talking about the Queen of Swords and how I saw the Queen of Swords, and you guys, it pops out. She's been wanting to pop out all through my shuffling for you guys. So we have the Death card and the World card. If any of you, this is random, but if any of you are cuspers of Taurus, you may take a look at their read as well, because they did have some of these cards similar as well. I only say that because I just wrapped up Tauruses not long ago, and I'm a cusper, and a lot of these do apply. So, but there's been, again, like I just said, some kind of healing transformation taking place, and it's to begin in the new cycle, next chapter. Whether your lives are together or separate, I feel like that's in your hands at this point, Jim. There's you and your power, Queen of Swords, discernment, making your decisions logically, thought through, seeing ahead, things like that. And then you have the Two of Swords here, choices. I feel like at the end of the day, where this connection is heading is going to be in your hands. No pressure, by the way. Obviously, no pressure. But all I can say with this is trust your gut, trust your intuition. Like I always say, I'm not saying to particularly run towards someone. I will say this is a very deep connection that has caused a lot of change and growth and transformation for both parties. I feel like both of you through this connection at one point has caused some kind of intense transformation. And at the end of it all, it's you deciding if you want to close out a chapter or begin again. And that is completely up to you. I'm not even going to go into that. I will leave it there because, gems, you guys have the power in your hands at this point. It's going to come down to you deciding where you want to be and what you want to do and where you're headed. And if this connection, this person is headed with you, and it's not always the be-all, end-all. Sometimes we make choices to move forward in connections, without people, but still keeping them in our hearts because we're working on ourselves, we're working on our own wish fulfillment, our own happiness. And that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that's what the journey entails, and sometimes that's what's needed. And if you do decide to take this person along with you, just know that this is a very deep spiritual connection, and work on keeping yourself in alignment and making sure as best you can that they keep track of their alignment too, because that causes the imbalances in these kind of connections because they are so intense, they are deep, you can feel the other person. That's the kind of connection this is. And so for whoever this is resonating, be discerning. Make a decision based off of what's best for you in your life. And keep in mind that, again, it is a very spiritual connection. So, you can always move forward on your own path, and they move forward, and then you can meet in the middle. That tends to happen a lot down the road. And if you decide to bring this person with you, again, stay in alignment, guys. All right, Jim. Well, that's it for mid-month. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of April, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Love and light.